Good morning. This is T.S. Hall, the Stoic Medium. Welcome to Spirit 360 Fellowship. This is a Spiritualist church that meets online via Zoom. If you're just now catching us on the live stream, if you go to spirit360.org, click the get your invite button, we will email you instructions how to join us via Zoom. And if you join us via Zoom, that means that you will get a message from our spirit guides and teachers. So that's the benefits of joining us for our Zoom meeting. Now over here, we have our live YouTube stream. And the reason we do the live YouTube stream is twofold. The first thing is so you can get to know me a little bit and the church, what we're up to. But more importantly, it gives you an opportunity to practice what we know will help you begin to learn the language of spirit. And the language of spirit is expressed in energy and vibrations. And the best way to learn that is to master your psychic and your healing abilities. At Spirit 360 Fellowship, we teach you how to do that in verifiable, displayable ways. Our agenda today is quite experiential and practice-oriented. We begin with a spiritualist meditation or a stillness meditation practice, which is comprised of a 5-minute focused concentration exercise followed by 5 minutes of silence, absence of thought. After that, I will lead you and guide you through a spiritual healing visualization. And this question came up quickly for me the other day. Do I consider my healing meditations? And the answer is no. I consider them meditative, but not meditations. For our purposes, meditation is silence, absence of thought, no thinking. But our guided healing visualization is our mind actively doing something. And when our mind is actively doing what we want it to, it can be very meditative. Some people call it mindful, but it's not meditation. Meditation is silence, absence of thought. After our guided healing visualization, then I'll give you an introduction to our topic this week. Our topic this week is how Stoic mediumship training can help you avoid the fatigue and burnout of being an empath, of being a highly sensitive person, someone who easily connects with others, how to really protect yourself and start developing the skills that help you manage your self-care and your self-love. Then we will do I'll open the audience to anyone who has a question for me about the church or what we're up to, or if this is the right place for you to consider joining us for a while for the next steps in your spiritual journey. Then we will do an absence healing service. Now, the important thing about the absence healing service is all of us have to be connected at the same time. So if you're watching this and it isn't live, then the absence healing service won't work for you. But if you stay here for about another 35, 40 minutes, then you will be able to join us and send healing to those friends and loved ones who cannot be here with us today. After that, I will offer each person on Zoom a message for their highest and best good. And I will give you a brief orientation and instruction for each of those as we begin. So get yourself comfortable. And as you get yourself comfortable, I will tell you a little bit more about our stillness meditation. One of the things that I when we're online, Google tracks and interprets and does all this stuff. So I have to say very specific phrases to help us differentiate ourselves from other online services. So I've been practicing on saying spiritualist mediumship, spiritualist church online, and all these things. And sometimes when I'm in the thick of things, I'll forget that and I'll use spiritualist too often. So we're going to do a stillness meditation practice, 5 minutes of focused concentration, followed by 5 minutes of silence or stillness. The focused concentration, I want you to hold an image in your mind's eye. I want you to imagine there's a blob or a spot or an abstract image in your mind's eye, and you're going to hold that for 5 minutes. Now, if you're like me, I've never seen the darn spot since 1987. If you are more auditory in nature or feeling in nature, then I want you to pretend or imagine or just know the spot is there. It works just the same. Because if I were to say to you, go to the store and buy me apples, you would know what apples are, even though you don't see the picture of a big, bright, juicy apple in your mind's eye. So you know your mind just processes thought forms differently than someone who is visually oriented. So we use the Insight Timer. We use the free version. We set up a 10-minute meditation. I will say Reverend Bradley's request. It sets the intention for our meditation and creates an anchor point or a grounding that allows, kind of trains our body with Pavlovian response that we're about ready to meditate. If you know the words, please say it along. If you don't, listen to them and let it set the intention for our meditation together. So I will shut up and we'll start meditating. So take a deep breath. And as you let that breath out, please join me with Reverend Bradley's request. Open, O Blessed Spirit, the spiritual eyes of my soul, that I may be released from the darkness overspreading me by the delusions of the outward senses, that I may perceive and understand those things spiritual. Hold your spot with the first bell. Release your image and drift into silence, absence of thought. complete your meditation. And as you complete your meditation, allow yourself to reposition your body if you need to, but keep your mind in a quiet, receptive place, a place of thinking tranquility, a place I like to call the eye of the storm, where your chaos in the outer world is at arm's length and not affecting you. And any chaos within is quieted, is calm, is peaceful. Very good. I would like you to put your hands in front of your body and space them about 6 or 8 inches apart. And as you do, notice the vibration, notice the feeling. That is you. That's the essence of your energy, your vibration. Technically, it's your aura C, your color aura. The energy field emitted by your body interacting with one another. But it's your etheric body, the spirit you, that perceives that vibration. And it's that spirit body, the spiritual essence of you, that we will use today to bring about health, harmony, and well-being during this spiritual healing visualization. We're going to remove disharmony from your spirit body, which in turn will remind your physical body of what harmony is and allow it to heal and restore itself to its genetic perfection. Very good. Notice how that vibration maybe tingles a little bit, maybe feels solid. You can move your hands back and forth just a little bit and make it more solid, more real. And as you get a good feel for this, as it becomes more and more tangible, more and more real, I want you to add a color, and that color is white. White is the combination of all healing vibrations, all positivity, all brilliance. It's as though you're holding a white cloud between your hands, the brightest white cloud you've ever seen, but this cloud emits light. It is luminescent. It's an orb of luminescent healing energy, bright white in color. Notice how it became more solid, more real between your hands. And that's exactly what we want, is we want to use our mind to project and create a ball of energy so real, so tangible, that it will do its job as we heal our body today. Next, I would like you to add a weight dimension to it. So I want you to imagine the last time you held a pint of milk, or a pint of yogurt. A pint weighs about 1 pound, so you've got a 1 pound ball of energy between your hands. And even though energy has no mass, we can add the mass to it because it's our mind. And I don't know about you, but the last time I spilt a pint of milk on the ground, on the floor in the kitchen, that stuff went everywhere. And that's exactly what we want. We want this ball of energy to be so real, so tangible, that as we put it into our body, we have absolute knowing that it will have sufficient energy to remove any disharmony from our spiritual bodies, and thus reminding our physical body of what harmony is. Now you've got this 1 pound ball of healing luminescence, this orb, the brightest white cloud you've ever seen in your life. Becomes more real, more tangible the longer you hold it. But the thing is if you hold a pound out in front of you, it starts to tire your arms. So let's do something with this. So I want you to move your hands up towards the top of your head. And as you move your hands to the top of your head, holding the ball and maintaining its shape, I want you to, with absolute love and knowing that it will work, I want you to face your palms towards the top of your head and release that ball of energy into your skull, and return your hands to a comfortable position. Now you've got a 1 pound healing luminescent orb, the brightest white in a cloud you've ever seen, and you want to release that ball shape, and you want to let this energy flow from the top of your head down to the soles of your feet. And as it does, just like the last time you spilt any type of liquid on the floor, that stuff goes everywhere, gets in every nook and cranny. And just as you did when you cleaned up that mess, you're going to have this energy clean up any messes in your vibration as it flows down to the roof of your mouth, into the large muscles of your jaw, as it flows into your neck and throat and upper spine, down into your shoulders, filling every crack, every nook, removing any and all disharmony, relaxing the large muscles in your upper back as it flows into your chest cavity, your upper back, your mid-spine, and your upper arms. And it continues to flow down towards your feet, slowly, gradually, under your control, each millimeter of your body, each cell in your body renewed, restored, as it moves into your lungs and your heart area, towards your elbows and your diaphragm, towards that mid part of your back. Notice how the large muscles in your back relax. All those knots are gone as it flows into your upper abdomen, your lower arms and your forearms, and that lower part of your back. Moving down towards your hands, towards your pelvis. And make sure you're taking a breath of healing beauty, healing wonder, as it moves into your pelvis area, into your groin and into your hips, out your fingers. And as it moves into your legs, toward your knees, allow yourself to realize that you have the power with a single thought to remove anything from your vibration you had rather not have there. As it moves past your knees into your calves, towards your ankles, towards the soles of your feet, and out your toes. And allow yourself to take another deep breath in. And as you take that deep breath in, I want you to scan your body very quickly and notice if there's an area that needs a little extra love, a little extra TLC, a little extra cleaning, if you will. And I want you to direct this healing luminescence, this flow of energy, of brilliant white healing energy, to that area. And give it a little scrub, if you will. Remove anything you do not want there. See that area of your body whole, complete, and perfect, just the way you prefer it to be. Letting go any and all memories of the past, starting newly today, being reborn, if you will. And as you clean up the spirit part of your body, feel it starting to remind your physical body of what harmony is, of what health is, of what wellness is. And take a moment and scan and see if there's any other area you'd like to bring about harmony, to remove any disharmony. And take a few moments and do the same thing. Cleanse that area. Remove from your awareness any disharmony that you choose to let go. Very good. And as we begin to wrap up, we're going to empower this healing by stating some affirmations, and affirmations will reinforce what we've done and remind your subconscious mind of what we've accomplished this morning. So please follow along with me. I am well. I am healthy. I deserve health. I cause wellness in my body, my mind. I produce right meditation. I engage in right thought. I take right actions. I cause good karma. I am greatly loved. And together we say, and so it is. And in your own time and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the three-dimensional reality of here with us today, here and now. And I want to acknowledge and thank you for taking the time to share a loving experience with yourself today, to allow your mind to set a condition of health and harmony and wellness in your body, and give you a reminder that if you do this every day just before bed, and you allow yourself to sleep in this harmony of renewal, when you awaken in the morning, you'll find that it's true. Excellent. Our talk this week, our spiritual lesson, is about really how does Stoic mediumship help us deal with life. And the specific aspect of life is the area that empaths and highly sensitive people often feel fatigued. They feel stressed out. They feel burned out because it's like they're drinking from a fire hose in life of all of this energy and all of these emotions that they experience from themselves and others. And specifically what Stoic mediumship does, it allows you to start training your mind to do what you want it to do when you want it to do it. And by so doing, it allows you to differentiate your stuff from other people's stuff, from the stuff in your relationship. We're all in a relationship, whether it's at work or whether it's romance or whether it's family or even when it's a pet. And too many times, empathic people, people who are highly sensitive, haven't learned the skill of sorting out their stuff from the people in their lives' stuff. And the problem with that is too many times when we perceive something, we perceive it inaccurately because we haven't trained our mind we haven't trained our mind to notice the difference. And Stoic mediumship is a method of training you to, in a verifiable, displayable way, learn to tell the difference between your thinking, your thoughts, your intuition, in such a way that you can know and know that you know what's going on. And with practice, you can become very good at learning that when someone comes in a bad mood and they're in your vibration, whether or not it's your fault or their fault. More importantly, and this is the harshest lesson for empaths I've ever seen. You learn when to wash your hands and bless them and leave them with whatever they're dealing with when it has no concern of yours. You know, I never had kids. And every time on the TV I see a relationship between a parent when the parent is just exacerbated because they know the kid's about to make a mistake. And it's something the parent learned a long, long time ago. But some of us, especially people like me, insist upon learning everything ourselves. You know, experience is the best teacher. But too many times we do things that we know are wrong, and we know they're wrong before we do them, but we do them anyway. And our ability to connect with that intuitive knowing part of ourselves allows us to take a breath, take a pause before we take an action to see if that action is going to bring about the result we want. Many times, I feel our spirit guides and teachers feel the same way. They know what we're about to do, and they see we're getting ready to make a mistake, and they do their best to share a message with us. And then cross their fingers that we don't have to experience in person what they are afraid will happen. So that's the mediumship part where we can communicate with some people who love us unconditionally and hopefully listen to them when we're given a forewarning. All right. So everyone has been here before. We don't have any newbies. But if you have a question about me or the church, you can unmute yourself and ask that question now. This is not a chance to get a reading. We'll do that in just a minute. All right, so no takers, going once, going twice. Sold. Our organization is a donation-based organization. If you'd like to make a contribution to us, we accept cash. We accept your good wishes. We accept you inviting a friend to join us or sharing what we're doing in our materials on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, whatever you are with your social community. Any contribution you make is much appreciated. Helps us pay the expenses of having all of this technology in place. So having said that, it's now time for our absence healing portion of the service. And this is an opportunity for you to send healing energies to 3 friends and loved ones for their highest and best good. Now we are approaching 10 minutes after 11. It usually takes me about 2 to 3 minutes to set this up. So if you're watching this live and it's about 11:10, 11:12 your time or Pacific time, then you're welcome to join us. If you're watching this as a recording and it's not about 10 minutes after 11 or so Sunday morning, October the 18th, Pacific time, then it doesn't do any good, because the differentiation we make between prayer and absence healing is simply this. If prayer alone worked, there would be no illness in the world. You could say a prayer and whomever you prayed for would get better, because that's what you pray for. I guess sometimes we pray for people not to be better, but they usually wouldn't show up at one of these services, I would imagine. So there's something missing, something extra needed to have your well wishes, your intentions of health and healing to get to someone. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, you can learn to do this on your own. You can do all 3 parts. You can do 2 parts yourself and then invite your spirit guides and teachers to do the 3rd part. So the first part is yours, and your job is to hold an image in your mind's eye of the person to whom you would like to send healing. And you want to do that as though you're looking at a photograph of them on the very best day of their life. And you want to hold that image for 1 minute. My job is to project and hold the healing energy. I will do that for 3 minutes so you can send healings to more than one person. And in a brief opening prayer, I will invite our spirit guides and teachers to take the energy I project and send it to the people you image for their highest and best good. The energy I use is very similar to the energy we use during the guided healing visualization. A couple of slight differences, and we teach you how to do this on your own in our classes. Okay. So I was told I haven't forgotten anything. Oh, I did. So you'll hear 3 bells. Each time you hear a bell, change the image of the person you would like to send a healing to. So take a deep breath, and as you take a deep breath, I invite our spirit guides and teachers to step very close with us, to take these healing energies as projected here this morning and send them to those imaged for their highest and best good, that they may experience health, harmony, complete peace of mind, and well-being. And please begin with the bell. We thank our spirit teachers for their assistance this morning in directing these healing energies for the highest and best good of those imaged. Amen. Every now and then when I'm doing an absence healing, and Gene was my teacher in the real world. He said every now and then something would happen, and it's like you kind of have this. It's kind of like when you're generating the energy, you disappear, and that happened this morning just a little bit. And what that felt like is, it's like the energy, we hold it in our mind's eye and we direct it and we imagine it. And then if I'm working on myself, I'll come through. If I'm working on a person in live, I'll come, I'll direct the energy. It's like spirit takes a funnel or a siphon and takes that energy, and it's like it there's so much. It creates this, for lack of a better word, it creates like a vacuum, and you kind of disappear into the vacuum. It was really weird. I felt it from time to time, but it was very, very pronounced this morning. Who wants a message? So if you're watching us, if you're on YouTube, we offer messages to the people who visit or who join us on Zoom. If you would like to get your invitation to join us on Zoom for our live meetings next week, you can go to spirit360.org and click the Get Your Invite button, fill out the brief form, agree to be a nice person when you're joining us, and we will email you instructions how you can join us during our live services. So you too can receive a message. And our messages are given for your highest and best good. So it's what our spirit guides and teachers, along with yours, feel you need to hear right now. One of the questions that gets asked occasionally is, how are we different than other spiritualist churches? Well, we believe in reincarnation, but we also believe that you're here to accomplish something this lifetime. And our spirit guides and teachers choose to be with us to help us bring about what we incarnated to bring about. So rather than focusing on helping you connect with your dead friends and loved ones on the other side, we help you connect with your spirit guides and teachers. But more importantly, we train you and develop you, Stoic mediumship, so you can connect with your spirit guides and teachers to experience their unconditional love and acceptance directly yourself, and eliminate the middleman, which is me. It'd be my pleasure that if everybody in the world could quiet their mind and connect with their spirit guides and teachers to perceive exactly what that unconditional love is like. Okay, so I'm going to offer each of you a message. If you would like a message, you got to go yes. If you don't go yes, then I don't know that you are giving me permission to touch your vibration. Then your teachers will talk to my teachers and share with you what they would like you to know today for your highest and best good. The future is not cast in stone, so if you hear anything about the future, it's given to you that you may either step around it or you may step towards it. Free will and all. So if you receive information about the future, remember it's not cast in stone, and you can take actions to avoid or to bring it about. This is a public forum, meaning that as I give your message, other people can hear it. So our spirit guides and teachers are pretty good at making sure I don't embarrass the person I'm reading for. But remember, sometimes the person I'm reading for needs to hear things differently or a specific way. So trust our spirit guides and teachers and me to give the message to them appropriately. But also, if you hear a message you like, if something rings true or feels right during my message for someone else, you're welcome to take it, because our spirit guides and teachers are pretty smart people. They're pretty crafty, and sometimes they'll deliver a message in a way that it benefits more than one person, especially in a public setting. So if you hear something you like, you're welcome to take it. They're not copyrighted. I think that's about it. Okay. So Lisa, would you like a message? Okay. All right, so Nathan steps close to me. And for the people who don't know Nathan, Nathan is a Caucasian male. He wears a black suit with a white shirt and tie. He looks kind of very Men in Blackish. And he's got a medical emblem on his lapel. And he's reminding you that slow and steady wins the race. You've got a couple of different things you're working on. And it's the consistent behavior and the consistent trust it's going to work out that will help you win the race. This has to do with, just about every area of your life. It seems like you're kind of going through a time of impatience with several things, but your health, your spiritual practices, and a couple of things at work and career, and even something going on with your kids. Just really remember, slow and steady wins the race. Consistent, positive, right action will get you what you want. He's showing you, I'm seeing Post-it notes, and on the Post-it notes, it's like they're being shuffled. And rather than kind of putting all the Post-it notes stacked in a pile on top of each other, put them out where you can see them. Here's project 1, project 2, project 3, project 4, and once in every short while, spread them all out so you can see them all and reprioritize and really get back in contact with what's that next step you want to take to get the results you want. And then create a separate page for each thing you're up to. Put a different page in your journal so you can start to track your progress and know that you're doing the activity which will lead to the changes that will get the results you want. Everything feels positive. Just be a little more patient with the process and trust it. And I will bless you and leave you with it. All right, Claire, you're next. Would you like a message? All right, Chuan Ling steps very, very close to me, and he shows me the image of a golden eagle flying on the airstreams pretty high in the air currents. And literally, our friend the golden eagle has a bird's eye view of several things that are going on below. Pardon me. But the thing that is interesting is the golden eagle isn't looking for the same things you would look for if you were in their position. And, the golden eagle wants lunch. He wants a mate. He wants a nest. He wants to survive. And you're beyond the survival part of things. So if you get and look at where you are in life and you look down at your bird's eye view on things, you are seeing some quite remarkable, your awareness is allowing you to see things in a quite remarkable perspective. And you've always expressed that in some of your poetry and some of your ways you communicate with others. And Chuan Ling is wanting you to share a little bit more of your perspective and what you're seeing, because your perspective and your view is quite remarkable. He's reminding you that you don't necessarily have to share it in a way that makes anyone else happy other than you. And as you put things out there that make you happy, the people who are attracted to it will find a resonance that they will benefit from greatly. So if you haven't done any of your poetry, you haven't done any of your art, you haven't done any of your expressing your perspective in a while, consider redoing that, because your perspective is one which can benefit a great many people. And I will bless you and leave you with that. And Beverly, would you like a message? Yay. Okay, so Christopher steps very close up, and Christopher is my joy guide for the people who don't know him, and he is reminding you to clean your room. He says there's a couple of things that are going on that are driving you crazy, and if you take the time to clear out the space of the areas that are bothering you, he says, imagine all of the new and different things you could do with that space. So it's just a reminder to really notice what things are bothering you and take the actions you need to get them out of your space. Because if you do, you'll find a level of freedom and quietness that seems to be evading you lately. So I will bless you and leave you with that. All right, Claudia, would you like a message? Okay. I don't know if I've shared a dart throwing message with you before. If I have, you're getting another one. So I've got you standing. It appears to be a pretty nice, an upscale type bar, and you know there's no sawdust on the floor. There's no peanut shells on the floor. And you're standing behind the line to throw darts. And what's interesting is there are two other people there, and you all are not, quote unquote, not great dart players, but you're each thinking about playing this game of darts together, but you all have different ideas on how that should work. This feels very close. It feels very vocational. It feels very almost family business type vibration to it. So the reminder is to get clear on the rules of the game before you throw the first dart. Really get everybody on the same page. Make sure that everyone has their opinion expressed, that everyone understands what the other people are wanting out of it. Because once you start playing the game and you're not all on the same page, then mischief can happen. And we want to avoid that because it is very avoidable. And it's a simple oversight. Everyone has in their own mind what they think. And no one is realizing that what each person is thinking is different than what the other people would think, because why would you? It's just darts. So really allow yourself to to get the what's at stake, the rules of the game, make sure you're playing the same game before you throw that first dart. And you'll find that everyone enjoys it much better. This definitely has something to do about going into the holidays and moving into some choices and decisions about the holidays coming up. So I will bless you and leave you with that. My pleasure. And Hania, my dear, would you like a message?
Yes.
Yay. How are you all today? Actually, I didn't get a chance to visit with you before we got started, so. I've got a basket, and this basket has a cloth lining to it. And you're walking towards some berry bushes. It looks like there's two types of berry bushes. There's some blackberries, and then there's some blueberries. And you're going to collect berries. But just as you get to the berries, you realize that you're not wearing gloves, and you know that if you collect berries, your hands are going to get stained. And even though it's something you enjoy, even though it's something you'll benefit from, and you're really concerned about not having the gloves, and it's an oversight. You thought about it. You kind of put them next to your basket, but when you picked up the basket, you were in a hurry, so you forgot the gloves, and you're resisting wanting to go back to get the gloves, and you're kind of in this going back and forth. Should I go get the gloves? Should I get the gloves? Should I just clean my hands? But if I don't use the gloves, then my hands will be dirty for a week. And you're really going back and forth. So coming up in the next week, there's going to be something that you're going to want to do a lot, and it requires several things. You need the basket to collect the berries. You want the gloves to collect the berries. You need to know where to go collect the berries. But you're going to be kind of flustered because you're in a hurry, and you're not, you will have a propensity to forget something. So it's a reminder to, as you walk out the door for about the next week or so, really pay attention to that you have everything you need to accomplish what it is you want to accomplish the way you want to accomplish it. Some people collect berries and they don't have a problem, but their hands getting stained. But there's certain things you want to do in a certain way because it makes you happy and it works for you. So even if you feel rushed, really do kind of that nose to toes checkup and make sure that as you walk out the door, you have everything you need to get the job done the way you want to. It really feels having to do something with family. And it'll just make your day much better. And in fact, I would imagine probably for the next several times, allow yourself, next week or so, allow yourself to be very mindful that you have everything you need to get the job done the way you want to. And I will bless you and leave you with that. Albert, would you like a message?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. All right, you're coming into a phase of your the circumstance you're going through, and Nathan wants you to ponder the word allowing. And the image he shows me is you planting corn. And you've got the soil prepared, you've got the fertilizer added, and you're putting corn into the ground. And then you're sitting there waiting for the corn to sprout. And rather than looking for evidence that the corn's going to sprout, allow the corn to sprout. You don't have to watch it. So it's really, in healing, we bless and leave. So we do everything we can do to the best of our ability then we bless and leave. When you receive a message, we bless and leave. So it's really allowing yourself to trust and then detach from what you just did or what you just experienced and allow it to happen, allow it to work. Sometimes when we, okay, this is from me. This is not from Nathan. But what comes to mind with the feeling I'm experiencing is that old saying that a watched pot never boils. You're sitting there waiting for something and not allowing things to happen. So that will be your meditation for the next looks like the next 3 weeks or so between now and add to like the first week of November. Is allow things to do what they're supposed to do, trust that it will happen, and do your part by making sure the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, but allow things to work the way they're supposed to work, and trust that they will. And when the corn is ready to be harvested, it'll be some damn good corn. And I will bless you and leave you with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, everyone. I want to thank you very much for joining us. I think I didn't mention that this week's spiritual lesson is up on YouTube. If you haven't, our YouTube channel is called The Stoic Medium, and you can watch it. And the title of this week's is How Stoic Mediumship Ends Empath Burnout. And it's got a really good pointer on how you can start to develop your psychic and spirit healing abilities to start taking control of your life. And with that, take a deep breath. And as you take a deep breath, I want you to imagine what will be true in your life next Sunday, 1 week from today, that's not true right now. What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to bring about? What do you want to experience? And as you hold in your mind that goal, that accomplishment, that intention, that outcome for the week, I want you to see it as though it's already happened. And as you see it as it's already happened, I want you to work backwards and notice how many times that your eyes are open to see things properly. So you take the right, know what the next step should be. How many times that you open your ears that you may hear and understand and comprehend what needs to happen to bring about that goal, that intention. And opening your mind, how you allow yourself to experience and know that what you're doing will work. But most importantly, open your heart for the giving and receiving of love, because everything you do, when done with love, for yourself and expressed with others, goes a little bit better, doesn't it? And together we say, and so it is. And with that, I will remind you one last thing, that spiritual is as spiritual does. So go out and do some really spiritual stuff and have some fun, and I will see you all soon. My highest blessings. I love you all. Okay. Bye-bye.